7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Montreal Canadiens will be playing off against the Buffalo Sabres in game number 2 of their 2026 Stanley Cup Playoffs second round series. Now, I'm gonna be real. Right at this moment, I actually have a dentist appointment, so I'll do my best to find Montreal Buffalo on the dentist's TV going on there. I obviously have a vested interest in watching this game, but we will be back making a post-game video about this game number 2 once it goes down and once it concludes. However, today, I wanted to dive into some extra notes regarding the Montreal Canadiens and the Sabres, what Rasmus Dahlin had to say about Nick Suzuki, and just how much the pressure is really heating up for Canadiens forward Cole Caufield. So, with that said, join me as we get into some pre-Canadiens and Sabres talk, starting out with the comments made by one Rasmus Dahlin, a Norris candidate in this year's Norris ballot, and a guy who just so happens to be the captain of the Buffalo Sabres. Dahlin has really grown into his own over the past few years. Initially a first overall pick back in 2018, a guy that Erik Karlsson said was going to be better than Erik Karlsson. Yeah, that's right. His main assessment of Dahlin back in 2018 was, hey, that guy's better than me. I digress. That is a true story, by the way. Karlsson did say that, but you gotta remember 2018 was back in the days where Erik Karlsson was genuinely the best defenseman on the planet. Nowadays, Rasmus Dahlin could very well be near the top of that list as well, especially when you're looking at it from a Norris voting point of view. Dahlin scored 74 points in 77 games this season, so a slight improvement over his career high of 73 points in 78 games, and he currently has 4 points in 7 games in the playoffs. The captain of the Sabres was also a point per game for Team Sweden at the Olympics, and he has really upped his level of overall defensive and offensive stability over the past 12 months or so. He's always been good, but this season, especially with the Sabres being as strong as they are, it's really given Dahlin more ammo to use and to project his own talent onto. With that said, this is what Rasmus Dahlin went out there and said about the opposing captain that he's going to be playing off against, Sabres captain Rasmus Dahlin on Habs captain Nick Suzuki. I think he's got the complete package. He can score, he's a hell of a passer, and he can play defense. He is just a legit first-line center in this league. So he really deserves that Selke nomination for sure. That's right, Nick Suzuki was nominated for the Selke this season, the NHL's award for the best defensive forward, and admittedly, best defensive forward is subjective in a way that most points or most goals is not. And generally speaking, you kind of need to produce a lot of points in order to win the Selke trophy, even if the qualification by description is, oh, it's the best defensive forward award. You wouldn't necessarily think that point production would contribute to that, but really if you look at the list of winners, it generally does. Nick Suzuki scored 101 points in 82 games this season, 29 goals, 72 assists. He has 7 points in 8 games in the playoffs so far, and that's despite the fact that the top line with Slump and Cole Caufield haven't really been able to do much at 5v5. Suzuki is just an all-around monster, and everything we have seen out of this guy over the past few years makes him more than worthy to wear that legendary C on his Montreal Canadiens jersey. So, to see respect being tossed from one captain over to another, obviously it's a really good sign. Also the fact that these guys are part of the same era, essentially. Rasmus Dahlin is 26 years old, Nick Suzuki is 26 years old. This is the new status quo in the NHL, and I say that fully knowing that Nick Suzuki was drafted 9 years ago. I'd say that it's probably about time. This is kind of guy that takes over the NHL, right? Connor McDavid is a 2015 dude. McKinnon was a 2013 dude. Matthews was 2016. But Suzuki, Dahlin, Cale Makar, these guys are 2017, 2018 territory. And we are fully seeing them at the top of the National Hockey League. And then you have guys like Celebrini. 2024. How ridiculous is that? Speaking of guys that are young and that are doing or not doing all too well, we had already alluded to him earlier in this video. The Montreal Canadiens haven't really been getting too much in postseason production out of Cole Caufield. Now, if you take a look at the overall points race for the Habs in the postseason, Caufield has 4 points, a goal, and 3 assists in 8 games played. He's a -5, though. And I know plus minus is not really the most relied upon stat to evaluate players, but Cole Caufield has been really feeling the heat as of late. We even made a video talking about the Caufield struggles that he has gone through. Our game number 1 post-game certainly had some conversations going on about Cole and his situation. But if you take a look at what Martin St. Louis had to say about Cole Caufield, he said, you just got to keep putting him out there. Players are competitive. They're hungry. They want more. Just keep putting him out there. You also had Cole Caufield himself saying today, when asked what he focuses on when the puck isn't going in, just other things. You're not going to score every game, but you just want to make a difference. Winning puck battles, trying to create more, play hard in your own zone. So just back to those things. Obviously, it's not ideal to hear Cole Caufield focusing on things outside of scoring goals, when really he has made his bread and butter known in the National Hockey League for scoring goals. But at the same time, this is a monkey that he is going to have to shake off soon, especially when you look at the hole that the Montreal Canadiens have themselves in right now, post-Game 1 against Buffalo. We had mentioned this in the video a few days ago, but Cole Caufield, ever since he had reached goal number 59 on the season, he hasn't really been doing all too much. He has 51 in the regular season, yeah. But it took him a while to get that 50th goal period. And then ever since then, he's only scored 1 goal in however many games this is. He is not looking himself. Cole Caufield is just starting to become a top-tier player in this NHL. He was 2nd overall in total goals in the regular season amongst everybody. Only Nathan MacKinnon scored more goals than Cole Caufield, a guy who has made his bread and butter known throughout his entire career for scoring goals. He has always had more goals than assists, no matter the organization, no matter the year, no matter the season. He is just that guy. But right now, he ain't scoring any goals. Right now, in the playoffs, he's got more assists than he has goals, which is very bizarre. The only other time where this was a pattern was in 2021, where he was a rookie making his debut in the NHL for the first time. Look at all these other seasons. 72 goals and 28 assists with the NTDP in 2019 when he was draft eligible. That's a goal scorer's goal scorer, and Cole Caufield is really going to have to put things together if he wants to prove himself as worthy of the dollar amount he's making right now. But with that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Rasmus Dahlin, Buffalo Sabres captain, speaking out about Nick Suzuki? What are your thoughts on the Cole Caufield conversation and his overall goal scoring? And where do you see this going in game number 2 versus the Sabres? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.